Hello and welcome to another episode of Gadgets and Gizmos. My name is Gaurav Prethi and it's a beautiful day, man. This ain't never a bad day. It's just that you choose to look at bad things because good things are sitting right somewhere in a corner looking at you. Note, let's begin the show. You have Xiaomi's new budget offering, the Xiaomi Redmi 3S Prime. For the audiophiles, you have the Skullcandy Grind wireless headphones. And Huawei's much awaited camera phone, the P9 has been launched in India. All this and more on Gadgets and Gizmos. Now Xiaomi is back with another rockstar smartphone. This is the Xiaomi Redmi 3S Prime. It's a budget smartphone and believe me, it looks fantastic and has all the dope to make it a success. Here is our review. In April, Xiaomi launched the Mi 5 in India, their most expensive smartphone. The phone looked good, but it couldn't hold its fort against the OnePlus 3. The next release was the Redmi Note 3, and the phone is still rocking in its segment. And oh yes, hi, it's me, I anchor and I do other things as well, just to let you know. But yes, with the Redmi Note Mini, or should I say the 3S Prime, Xiaomi brings you another fantastic smartphone in the budget smartphone segment. This phone, it looks fantastic. You have all metal design, well, not exactly all, but metal design. You get a fingerprint scanner and it's loaded with some great hardware specification that should translate into a great performance. So, voila. Xiaomi has played safe with the design. It looks similar to the Redmi Note 3. You get an almost all-metal design with matte finish and those smooth curved edges. The phone feels good to hold. The 5-inch screen size is perfect. The Redmi 3S Prime weighs at just over 140 grams, which isn't quite that much when you consider the fact that it's housing a 4100 mAh battery inside. Now the power button and the volume rocker are on the right, while the dual SIM hybrid card slot lies on the left. Phone speaker vent is located on the rear lower end. 5-inch HD IPS LCD display with a 720 by 1280 pixel resolution looks good. Brightness levels are just about adequate and adaptive brightness works as it should. Colors look rich and vibrant, a little warm by default. Sunlight legibility is a problem though. Redmi 3S Prime runs Android 6.0.1 Marshmallow based MIUI 7 out of the box. If you're not a stock Android fanatic, MIUI 7 offers all the bells and whistles that you would want from a fully functional operating system, including themes. Empty theatre. No, I'm not at the screening of Mohenjo-daro. I won't do that. Back to the phone. Like I said, it's loaded with specification. It is powered by a 1.4 GHz Snapdragon 430 processor. You have a Adreno 505 GPU. There is 3 GB of RAM, plenty of storage, 32 GB, which can be expanded to up to 128 GB, and there is a hybrid card slot, which means you can either put in an additional SIM or choose to expand the memory. Now, there is no NFC, which is frankly speaking quite alright. And if I have to describe the performance in one word, I would just say fantastic. The Redmi 3S Prime is everything that the Redmi Note 3 is in terms of all-round performance, which means it is crazy good without the overheating. The Redmi 3S Prime is quick and responsive in every sense of the word. There are no visible lags or stutters while navigating between home screens or multitasking in our review unit. Remember, its speed and multitasking prowess is being compared with phones in this range, which means phones like the Coolpad Note 3, the Meizu M3 Note and even the Leico Le1S. The Redmi 3S Prime beats all phones in all-round usage. Basic games are handled well, but GPU-intensive games are prone to some occasional lags when being played at maxed-out settings for longer periods. The mono speaker on board the Redmi 3S Prime is average at best. The Redmi 3S Prime is backed by 4100 mAh battery, which is non-removable. Xiaomi claims almost 2 days worth of battery life on this one, and it gets close. Water to extreme usage, sauce crossing, 1 whole day barrier with ease. While toning down further, should get most user 1.5 days out of the phone. The Redmi 3S Prime sports a 13 megapixel camera on the rear with f2.0 aperture, face detect, autofocus along with LED flash. On the front you get a 5 megapixel snapper. The phone captures some good looking photos in good light, good amount of detail and mostly spot on colors. Alright, to sum it up, the Xiaomi Redmi 3S Prime is every bit as awesome as the phone it replaces, which is the Redmi 2 Prime. It looks good, feels good, the performance is very dependable, it has a decent camera and a killer battery life. What else can you ask for? And the price is cheap, man. And in fact, you get another cheaper version of this phone. It's the 3S, where you get 2 GB of RAM and 16 GB internal storage and no fingerprint scanner. So I think this phone is a stealer, man. Well, this week we have a pair of Skullcandy headphones. Skullcandy, of course, you know, it's an American brand. They're known for making those funky headphones with awesome bass, because it's all about the bass. And here is Shivan testing them out and telling you all about the bass.
So guys, today I have with me a set of headphones from a US based company called Skullcandy. Now Skullcandy is known for its urban aesthetic, which it lends to most of its headphones. It's known for its wacky designs, and these ones are no different. They're actually the grind wireless. There's a lot happening design wise. Let's put them on and figure out what's up sound wise. The new Grind Wireless are, as the name implies, a Bluetooth version of Skullcandy's earlier Grind headphones. They're on-ear headphones that come in various funky color combos. There are 3 essential buttons. The plus sign increases volume, but also skips to the next track if you hold it down. The minus sign does the opposite in terms of playback, and the multifunction button pauses and plays music as well as answers and ends phone calls. On the bottom of the ear cup, you'll find the 3.5 mm input and a micro USB input for charging. The Grind Wireless are, well, wireless. Turning them on instantly enters pairing mode, and once paired, they'll auto-connect to the last used device every time you turn them on. Skullcandy claims that these have a range of about 30 feet. The battery life is estimated at around 12 hours at 75% volume, and we were not disappointed. The overall quality of sound did not give us much to complain about. For the starting price of Rs 6,500, these headphones had a smooth sail in our review books in terms of sound quality and battery life. So guys, overall there is a lot of goodness being offered with these headphones in terms of looks, battery and features, but the one major design flaw that I have to talk about is its lack of comfort. Now maybe it's just me, but I either like headphones which are over the ear or in the ear. These are somewhere in between and highly uncomfortable, I have to say. As far as the sound quality is concerned, I really wish Skullcandy had added a little more refinement to the overall sound, added a little more bass. Other than that, it's not a bad option. The range will start from about Rs 6,500.
So yes, Huawei's much awaited smartphone, the P9, has been launched in India. The USP of the phone, of course, was the Leica branding on their camera. And if you're someone who is relying on your smartphone for clicking those pictures, then your wait is over. I think it's worth taking a look at.
Huawei is the first company using the 36-degree.
Chinese tech major Huawei launched its flagship P9 phone in India this week. The P9 is Huawei's top-tier phone with focus on photography elements, affiliated with Leica, a 100-year-old German camera manufacturer. The P9's biggest attraction is its Leica-certified dual camera. Huawei officials declared the P9 as the best camera smartphone for taking low-light photos, as compared to the Galaxy S7 and the iPhone 6s and the other top-tier phones. Boasting a full metal unibody, the Huawei P9 comes with a 5.2-inch Full HD display with a rear-mounted fingerprint scanner. It is powered by a 2.5 GHz octa-core processor clubbed with 3 GB of RAM and 32 GB of internal memory with support for expandable storage via hybrid card slot. It is a dual SIM phone running Android Marshmallow based Emotion UI and will be available in 3 colors: Titanium Grey, Mystic Silver and Prestige Gold. The phone will be a Flipkart exclusive in India and will be available for buying at a price of Rs 39,999.
Time for our gaming segment now. Let's see what Rohith is up to this week.
I've seen things. A few things before. Left the sun and moon behind. Galaxies waiting to be found. Planets rich in resources.
No Man's Sky had a lot to live up to. Ever since its 2013 reveal, the game has seen mountains of hype roll out, mostly on the promise of exploring an obscene number of planets, close to 18 quintillion. And these kind of numbers are enough to get people excited about the prospects of a personal Buck Rogers adventure through the galaxy. The real question is, does it live up to the hype?
The universe you wouldn't believe.
There's very little here in terms of a story or a narrative structure. The game opens with you crash landing on a planet. From there, you explore, collect resources, fix your ship and fly off on a journey to the center of the galaxy. There are little hints as to who you are or why you want to reach the center, but on the whole, Halo games keeps things relatively vague, putting the gameplay and presentation front and center. Instead of manually handcrafting 18 quintillion planets, Halo game instead procedurally generates them on the fly. Each planet, atmosphere, living creatures, texture is generated using a big box of math. The engine calculates the atmosphere and composition of a planet using algorithms and then populates them with flora, fauna and animals most appropriate to that particular planet. In theory, this means no two planets are going to be the same. In practice, this is far from the truth. After about 4 hours, the planets start to feel samey. This method of generating the planet has some visual trade-offs too. Halo games has opted to use a mixture of voxels and polygons as the building blocks for the planets. The animations also come across as stiff sometimes. The one thing that No Man's Sky absolutely nails though is the sense of scale. The first time that you enter the atmosphere of a planet and see the land emerge beneath you, smoothly transitioning from outer space to a landing sequence on the planet, you can't help but smile. On the whole, even with the aforementioned trade-offs, No Man's Sky does portray a childlike sense of wonder. At its best moment, the game feels like an homage to films like 2001: A Space Odyssey. For all the hype behind the tech and visuals, Halo game was very vague on the gameplay aspect of No Man's Sky. At its heart, it's a basic survival game. The primary objective on each planet is to collect resources. These upgrade your suit, your ship and your offensive abilities. As you explore and tag various planets and its inhabitants, the data collected is sent to a universal database called the Atlas, which gives you currency to spend on improving your abilities further. Some planets also have patrolling sentinels, which is the game's way of artificially limiting the amount of raw materials you can collect from a planet, which is annoying. The game also takes place in a shared universe, which means other players may show up in your game world, though the chance of this actually happening are relatively slim, which is kind of disappointing. The gunplay in the game feels rather weak and unexciting, but these aren't a huge part of the game. The same holds true for ship combat in space. It feels floaty and inaccurate. Unfortunately, after about your 20th planet, things get into a rut. You will be doing the same thing over and over again, and it starts to feel like a grind. This monotonous grind, combined with an absence of a compelling narrative to drive the game forward, leads to a boring gameplay loop which is repeated ad nauseum. There is little doubt that No Man's Sky is an ambitious game, and there are a lot of things that are genuinely amazing. It's a pity that gameplay feels as worn out as it is. After your initial sense of wonder dissipates, you are left with gameplay that tows the line between boring and semi-interesting. Our advice would be to wait for a sale. At its current price, it's just not worth it.
Of course, we have smartphones and we have smart bags and we have smart watches, smart belts and whatnot. But have you ever thought that your suitcase also has the ability to do much more? What if you get a smart suitcase? What is it gonna do? Take a look. The age of the smart bags has arrived, and we take a look at what the future luggage bags will look like. Tower Robot R1, a smart bag which senses your movement and follows you autonomously, and it's designed to completely free your hands. R1 follows at a maximum speed of 7 km per hour. A customized bracelet is provided with every R1, and the Tower Robot will automatically lock and unlock by detecting the distance between the bracelet and itself. Go Move system is the brain of the R1, in charge of sensing the environment, planning reasonable paths and avoiding obstacles, all while following its user. The active wheel units will retract as soon as you touch the handle, switching R1 from autonomous mode into manual mode. With the proximity alarm and embedded GPS, it should hopefully be enough to keep your belongings protected. The proximity alarm will notify you if your luggage leaves your area and if you accidentally lose or misplace your luggage, and it can also navigate its way back to you within a certain distance. Now this is a robotic suitcase, but what if you just don't want to walk with your luggage anymore? Lo and behold, the Moto Bag, another state-of-the-art battery-operated smart bag which gives your legs the rest they crave for when walking through the landscapes of unending airport terminals. If you're tired, just hop on and the bag smartly turns into your personal scooter. There are two modes which are offered, one for indoor which offers lesser speed and one for outdoor with higher speed limit. Depending on the weight of the traveler, the bag can travel anywhere between 10 to 13 kilometers on a single charge. Can attain a speed of up to 13 kilometers per hour. It is equipped with lever-operated cable brakes, and if that doesn't do the trick for you, you can always opt for the Red Flintstone feed drag. This is probably one of the most exciting advancements in the luggage bag industry ever since the rolling wheel suitcases. Alright, so this is the end, my beautiful friend. The show comes to an end and we'll see you next week. In the meantime, you can always follow us on Twitter, give us your suggestions. If you like us, if you hate us, it's alright. Nothing else matters. We'll see you next week with more of gadgets and gizmos.